Welcome to Blueprint Viral News. In this video, we're breaking down 338 Canada's latest vote projection, updated as of April 9th, 2025. We'll take a deep dive into the national numbers, the regional battlegrounds, and explain what the margins of error really mean for each party's actual support. Starting with the national picture, the Liberal Party of Canada, or LPC, is projected to lead the race with 44% support. But due to a margin of error of plus or minus 5%, their true level of support could realistically be as low as 39% or as high as 49%. In second place, the Conservative Party of Canada, CPC, holds 38% support nationally. With a margin of error of 4%, this means their real support could range between 34% and 42%. Further back, the New Democratic Party, or NDP, sits at 8% support. The margin of error here is 2%, suggesting their actual support could fall anywhere between 6 and 10%. And the Bloc Québécois, running mainly in Quebec, is currently at 6% nationally, with a 1% margin of error, putting their actual support somewhere between 5 and 7%. Now let's dive deeper, region by region. In Atlantic Canada, the Liberal Party remains dominant, polling at 55%. However, with a relatively high margin of error of 7%, their real-world support could be anywhere between 48 and 62%. The Conservatives trail at 34% with a 6% margin, meaning their true support could be between 28 and 40%. The NDP holds 7% in Atlantic Canada, but with a 3% margin, their real numbers could be as low as 4% or as high as 10%. Turning to Quebec, the Liberals continue to perform strongly, sitting at 43%. With a 6% margin of error, their support could range from 37 to 49%. The Bloc Québécois, Quebec's main sovereigntist party, has 24% support, plus or minus 4%, meaning a range of 20 to 28%. Meanwhile, the Conservatives are close behind at 23%, also with a 4% margin, making their real support somewhere between 19 and 27%. The NDP, meanwhile, stands at 6% with a 3% margin, meaning they could realistically be between 3 and 9%. In Ontario, the Liberals are particularly strong here, holding 49% support, a key battleground. The margin of error is 6%, suggesting their real support could be between 43 and 55%. The Conservatives are at 39%, again with a 6% margin. So their support could actually lie between 33 and 45%. The NDP is at 8% support in Ontario with a 3% margin, which places them between 5 and 11%. Moving west to the Prairies, Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Here, the Conservatives lead with 50% of the projected vote and a margin of 6%, meaning between 44 and 56%. The Liberals are second at 35%, but notably, they are on an upward trend. Their margin of error is also 6%, putting them between 29 and 41%. The NDP captures 12% of Prairie support, with a 4% margin, meaning they could be between 8 and 16%. In Alberta, unsurprisingly, the Conservatives dominate. They are polling at 60%, with a margin of error of 6%, meaning between 54 and 66%. The Liberals hold 28% in Alberta, with a margin of 5%, so somewhere between 23 and 33%. The NDP trails at 8%, plus or minus 3%, ranging from 5 to 11%. In British Columbia, the race is extremely tight. The Liberals sit at 41%, and the Conservatives are just behind at 40%. Both parties have a 6% margin of error. That means the Liberals' real support could range from 35 to 47%, while the Conservatives could be anywhere from 34 to 46%, making BC a true toss-up. The NDP is third at 14%, with a margin of 4%, meaning between 10 and 18%. The Green Party is at 4%, with a 2% margin, between 2 and 6%. Finally, in the territories, Yukon Northwest Territories and Nunavut, the Liberals are again leading at 48% with a 9% margin of error, meaning their support could be between 39 and 57%. The Conservatives are at 30% with an 8% margin, so between 22 and 38%. The NDP holds a strong 18% support with a 7% margin, placing them between 11 and 25%. The Greens once again sit at 4% with a 4% margin, meaning realistically anywhere from 0 to 8%. That's it for today's breakdown of the 338 Canada vote projections as of April 9th, 2025. The race is heating up and every percentage point counts, especially with those margins of error in play. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more political analysis and daily updates.